Hey guys, right here, and welcome to another Afterbirth update. This is number 11 of the updates, and this video is probably going to go out a little later than usual because, well, just issues, pretty much. But never mind that. So right off the bat, sadly, Edmund did say he was going to try and get this update talking about the leaderboards and the score system and stuff, and the daily runs, but he says that's probably going to be next week. So we're going to talk about some new game mechanics this time, which is still a nice thing, you know, pretty interesting. New features that we're adding here. So buttons, as you can already see, buttons or switches or whatever you want to call them, are being added. So this is making it even more like the original like kind of Zelda game, where you would use buttons to like spawn stuff in or like to open doors. So apparently there's going to be a few different types of buttons, and this GIF here, you can see him pressing it and it's like makes a bunch of flies spawn. He says here that they currently don't have the visuals yet, so this isn't exactly what it's going to look like, I'm assuming. So no worries about that. But so yeah, in this GIF it spawns flies, and he does go on to say that the mystery buttons, which is this one, I'm assuming, pretty much basically means it's either going to spawn something good or something bad. So I'm assuming that's probably going to make it like it'll spawn enemies or troll bombs, or possibly just spawn maybe some consumables on the floor, or maybe even have a rare chance of spawning a pedestal item of some kind. So that'll be interesting to see how that works, and like kind of a risk reward kind of thing, like a curse room where you may be like, oh well, I'm in a bad situation, I don't want to hit the buttons. So that'll be an interesting mechanic to see how that plays out, how often people actually use them. So it continues on. Now in this fucking GIF, see, so this is one of the new L-shaped rooms, and look at the fucking state of this. Like, the turrets and the fucking brimstone turrets, this looks like a fucking pain in the ass. This looks like one of those rooms where I'm always going to mess up and get hit on. I don't like that very much. I imagine this is definitely going to be the kind of room where I'm just going to not want to go into. But basically what he's showing here is that there's going to be door buttons like this, where you have to find a button in a room to get the door to open up, rather than having a key or defeating the enemies. You actually have to do this, which is very interesting. So it looks like here there's no enemies in the room, so maybe there is going to be certain rooms you'll run into where there's going to be a kind of gauntlet of stuff like this that you have to try and avoid to get to a button to get yourself back out, and you just have to like kind of remember that that room had that thing. So that'll be interesting. Like, it's an interesting way of like having rooms that don't have enemies but are like a way to but will still able to hurt you, and like are basically just there to kind of like slow you down. So it's very interesting. I guess we'll see how that goes. Maybe there will be rooms like this that will have enemies in them too, which will make things very, very difficult to avoid, because there's a lot of shit going on here. But it's very interesting. The whole buttons thing is a really cool new mechanic. It makes it even more like the original Zelda, like I said before. So that'll be, yeah, it's pretty cool. I really like that, the whole buttons thing. And I guess we'll see what other kind of buttons there is, because I'm assuming the mystery buttons and the door buttons are not going to be the only ones that are going to be in the game. There's probably going to be other kind of ones as well. So yeah, that's pretty awesome. So next up, he talks about how there was a challenge called Turbo, where it basically made the game like play on a much faster speed. And basically he says he really likes this mode's extra challenge so much that he's debating adding a turbo on hard mode, which well, he says he wants to maybe add it to hard mode, but maybe make it a bit slower than the challenge. Now, I don't know, like, I feel like that is kind of a fun thing, but having it constantly on hard mode is kind of like, I don't know, I feel like it should be its own separate thing. Like, have an extra selection for having turbo mode on, because like a lot of people, like, because there's a lot of things in the game that you have to play on hard mode to like unlock certain stuff. So the fact that you'd have to play on hard mode and on speed and like have the turbo on all the time would I don't know, it kind of feels like a bit much, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like it should be its own option, and maybe have its own like unlocks tied to it as well. Like, you have to complete something on like hard and turbo mode with certain characters to like get certain new items or something. I don't know. But above this, actually, I forgot to mention, he actually says there's going to be 10 new challenges in the game. Apparently, pretty much all of them are from the community, like suggested ones that he's tweaked to make like run obviously a lot better. And each one's going to have a new special unlock. But this time around, it's going to be unlocking a lot of different things. It's not going to be just runes. It's going to be pickups in the forms of pills, cards, and runes. So pretty much officially has told us there's going to be new types of pills and tarot cards as well as new runes. So that's very interesting. That's pretty awesome. It's be interesting to see what these new items are going to do. Because I definitely feel like I'm always seeing the same fucking like cards and stuff all the time. So it'll be very interesting to see what the new ones are. And that's pretty much it for this update. So that's pretty interesting stuff. We got the new button layouts and the turbo mode. I'm not sure about the turbo mode. Like, I honestly think it would be better as its own selection rather than being like a kind of forced thing every time you play hard mode. Because I feel like a lot of people that play hard mode like a lot are just going to go back to normal if they don't like the turbo mode kind of thing, which is kind of a shame. So I don't know, maybe talk about that, see how you guys feel about that. Let me know how you feel about that as well, like what you feel about the turbo mode, and if you think it'll be fine having it in the normal game, or if you want it to be like its own separate thing. But it'll be interesting. But before we leave, there is a secret link, of course, as always, and the secret link is this image. I am my brother's keeper. So fucking Jesus Christ knows. I don't know what this means. I'm thinking, the only thing I can think of is I think it's maybe something to do with Cain, because Cain is a character in the game and so is Abel. Well, Abel's not a character, Abel's like an item, but in the Bible Cain and Abel are brothers. So I'm thinking maybe it's got something to do with Cain. Like maybe Cain is going to have Abel as a starting item now or something. I don't know. Like I can't think of anything else unless maybe it's a new character, like another new character that's going to be like Isaac's brother. It's going to be like play a lot differently from him or something. I don't know. It's very interesting. I am my brother's keeper. I guess we'll see how that goes with whatever the fuck that means. So yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this week, guys. So let me know what you think in the comments and stuff. Make sure to go follow Edmund on Twitter to get these to see these posts as soon as possible, and subscribe to my channel if you want to see these update videos every week. So thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next week for the next update. Goodbye.